But I did want to mention to you that, as the first 100 days, there were a lot of things that I was looking at, and there are still many more continuing to unfold, as I'm sure you know, just in the past, 5 or 6 days. So I do have a personal 10-year plan, but today I'm just going to discuss the next 24 months with you. This right here is a vision and goal statement that's in your budget document. And what I would tell you is that it sounds great and that we would all agree with these aspirations. However, I would say that we are not there yet. But with the right attitude and consistent movement forward, we can achieve these goals, but it's going to require hard, thoughtful, persistent work on everyone's part. This isn't just a me, this is a we. These are things that I would say, I'm not going to read every line on the slide so everyone can take a deep, let their breath go at this point. But what I would say is that a couple of things that I want to point out to you is that one of the things that I think are going to help some of the issues that we hear consistently from our citizens in our community, we are going to be launching the My Government online citizens information portal. Hopefully that will be in the spring. February is one of our goals, and I think that is going to make a considerable difference in the way folks look at government in Escambia County and the information that we provide in a more timely fashion. Employee engagement and training will be a major priority over the next 2 years. The employees also need support and consistent feedback versus a once-a-year evaluation. I think we all dread that once-a-year evaluation because we store up all the things that we really should be saying every day to our staff. So we're looking at doing that from a performance evaluation perspective. We're also searching for ways to improve the community overall health and physical health and mental health. And so in order to understand that, we're looking at how health education and member decisions on behalf of our employees can help us work together for the best possible outcomes. This is going to be important because I think that healthier employees make happier employees, and I think when we can come up with a healthier program for them, I think that will also help them in wanting to achieve the services that they provide to our citizens. I would mention to you also that this is a list of staff that we have brought on board since I've been here, thanks to your previous vote. I did have 14 positions to fill since my arrival: public safety, fire chief, emergency medical services, and emergency management leadership, IT, HR, mass transit, communications, neighborhood services, 2 assistant county administrators, assistant to the county administrator's program coordinator, and facilities. That's quite a list. We are working through that list, and facilities is the next one that's on deck as far as an interim that is out there and currently advertised, and then also the assistant county administrators will be advertised soon. These policies, most of these are just basic organizational policies that are, in my opinion, simply not evident here or are in need of significant improvement. Processes. I would label this organization as Dysfunction Junction in many ways, not because of the people, but because of the processes that I think are lacking at this time. They're either non-existent or they're very challenging. I'm not trying to be negative, but I want you all to know there's a lot of work that needs to be done to get this organization into a healthy organization. Disruption and innovation are key components of making a healthy organization, and those are the kind of things that we're going to be looking forward to in terms of promoting continuous improvement. One of the things that we'll be looking to do is set strike teams. So some of the things that I've got already on the books for the next year, the first thing is in the month of December, we have a design workshop for the development and building processes. And so what the idea is that we'll be taking folks in our development services, code enforcement, building services. Clara and Meredith will be there from their perspective of what it looks like to take a citizen or an entity from the first time they have an idea about a project until the time it gets to Tim Day's staff at Code Enforcement to ensure that everything has been done properly. We're going to look at it from the citizens, from the client's perspective. What does that process look like? What's my level of expectation? Do I have a really stringent person in this process and a lax person in this process? No, we want the process to set a level of expectation across the whole spectrum. So those workshops will be happening in December. In January, we hope to have the Office of Compliance and Ethics fully staffed. In February, we're looking to roll out the My Government portal, information portal that I've already mentioned to you. And then the county reorganization, that'll be on the next slide. It's just a very basic, at this point, what we're looking at. I'm not moving a bunch of people to a bunch of different places, but what I am trying to do is provide symmetry in the way folks are, they are housed together in terms of their responsibilities and the assistant county administrators that work with them. Then we'll be also making sure that all of our strike teams are launched, and those are the teams that will be looking into those policy and process changes that I mentioned on the previous slide. Those will come from within the staff, the directors and their staff, in terms of how to make improvements in those areas. Jana, the new HR director, is very engaged in very interested in employee engagement, and so we will be looking to promote some of those new options by I think May, maybe I would say May, hopefully earlier. And then we're hoping to engage in the design workshops for the county strategic plan. I mentioned this when I came about the Strive to Thrive in 2025, and just making sure that we know what those benchmarks look like so that we can have a page or a dashboard so that when you want to tell people about how the county's doing, you actually know how the county is actually functioning and responding to the citizens. And then also launching the performance evaluation process I mentioned. I would hope that we can do that sooner, but I believe that July would be a good target in terms of making sure that we've got the training in place so that when the directors and other staff are doing that and providing that constant feedback, everyone is very comfortable with what that process is going to look like. And then making sure that we've developed the Strive to Thrive in 2025 benchmarks, and then we would do an evaluation in December. I have a whole nother year's timeline, but I'll stop with that one today. And then this is just the basic organization. When you look at currently, we have what I would call a splatter map on our website. I would like it to look more organized, and so the two areas that would be we would be housing our departments would be under the offices of like community services and administrative duties, and then the other side would be public safety and infrastructure. And so that I'll bring back to you once we look at the the finals on that. So I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I guess he doesn't want me to do that. Okay, he fixed it for me. So anyway, there's a lot of, not that any of you didn't tell me there was a lot of work to do whenever I did take this job. I think many of you told me on numerous occasions there was a lot to do when I took this job. But what I would say is that, when I came on my first day, I told you that I was here to eat frogs and to get bloody in the arena, and I'm still in that position. I'm still willing to eat your frogs, and I'm still willing to get bloody in the arena. But there's a long way to go, and I'm still looking forward to us moving that direction with your support.
Thank you, Madam Administrator.